Afternoon, YouTube. It's Greg Martin back again. HGM Law, HGM Law Comics and Collecting. Going part two of my graded collection. So we're going to do this in part two and a part three, based on the crates that I have. So let's go and get started. So here we have Amazing Spider-Man number 1, 9.8. Got this online on my comic shop, and I don't remember the price I pay for these because I just want them. So usually I get it, and whatever price I pay is what I pay. So this was the Amazing Spider-Man number 1, 9.8. I think this is just the regular one. It's not the variant. It's got the 111 on the bottom, so it's just the basic one, but good solid book. So here's another Amazing Spider-Man. This is the variant version, also 9.8. This is one of my peeves is to try to get a really good copy if I could. So that way it has good value and always looks the way it is. So it was interesting when I got it. I took it out of that the sleeve because I didn't think the sleeve was important. Then I find out later that people like the sleeve, so kept some in the sleeve. But most of these I think are out the sleeve. So sticking with the Spider-Man theme because I am a Spider-Man guy. Another Amazing Spider-Man number 1. This is the J. Scott Campbell variant cover. Again, also 9.8. I've got a light in my face, so I'm trying to make sure I angle it so no one sees that. You can see the glare off of that. But another good solid book for pick. Now, here's Amazing Spider-Man 700. I got this in Orlando. I took my kids down there for Christmas that year. Saw that Spider-Man was ending the run, and I thought, wow, iconic run from when I was born all the way up. And so I wanted to get a chance to actually pick up the book. And so I was there. It was a big comic shop in Orlando. Huge, has an actual life-size Hulk statue, real 7 feet, huge thing. And I went there and got that, and it was amazing. I got, I want to say 6 of the variants, and they were all standard cover price. They didn't do anything with them. It was one of my first variants, but I got the original one and sent this away to CGC and got a 9.8. Happy with that. Now this is the first signature one I got. Amazing Spider-Man number 4. It's a Campbell variant cover, and it's signed by Scott Campbell in October 2015. Now, I hadn't gotten autographs at all. Before this, I only had one, which was a Spider-Man 1 signed by Todd McFarlane back in '91. Had the little stamp on the back and the little letter of authenticity that I got. Other than that, I never did any autographs at all. Never tried to get them. Never wanted to get them. So that one I just sent off to CBCS for verification and hope it comes back. I also sent 4 others that I got autographs with. But this is the very first autograph one I got. I bought this from my comic shop. And so I said, okay, well, it's nice. It's a 9.8. It's signed, and it's a great cover. So I enjoyed it. Now, this was this is the Spider-Gwen phase. This was a big, big, big book at the time. In 2014. This is the Ramos variant cover. Very sought after book, and so I got a chance to buy it on my comic shop, so I went ahead and did it. At the time, I was using my values were between. Didn't use eBay that much. I've never been a big eBay person, but I went ahead and picked this up, and quite pleased to have it. So one of those you look like, okay, hey, I have this book, and nice, I guess, modern kind of key book. That's important. Now this Spider-Gwen I found raw at Big Planet Comics in College Park, Maryland. Um, the quick little story about that is that at this time I was going around this variant craze. Everyone had these variants that were going around, and I was trying to find those because obviously no one cared about the original comics. So it was a variant that actually held any value. And so I went to Big Planet Comics. They had all the variants in some long boxes off to the side. So pulled up a chair, started rooting through, and found this one looked really good. And so I sent this off to CGC. I sent this off with a bunch of the books that you'll see in this video and the next video, and got my shot at how I saw myself as a grader. And this came back 9.8, so I was pleased with that. This is always also around the time. This one is Batman: The Dark Knight, Dark Knight: The Master Race, Dark Knight 3, The Master Race. I'm a big Batman fan. I really am, and so that's one of the big things. But this is another variant that I found, also Big Planet Comics in the raw. Sent it off. You'll see I have like two of each, and some came back 9.8, some did not. But it's kind of satisfying when you find something in the raw and you're able to send it off and get a good grade on it. So that was important, and decent story as well. But that's this one. Now this Dark Knight 3, Master Race number 2, also is a resale variant cover. Very good cover. I really enjoyed the cover and found it raw. The good thing with them is that they had it bagged and board, and I looked at it and said, look clean, no real imperfections. And so I was able to pick it up and then send it out, and came back 9.8. So glad for that. Now this Batman Dark Knight 3, issue number 3 of the Master Race, also came back 9.8. I got another one of this that came back less. I'm not sure what it was, 9.6, 9.4. We'll see it soon enough. But great cover. Batman and Superman fighting it out, and really really nice cover. So love the art, love the way things just pop out for you. This is the Romita Jr. variant cover. So like that. Now this is Harley Quinn in her own book, 9.8. I got this at an auction off of my comic shop. This is when I started, my first auction, comic auction, and just paid attention, saw it, was able to come in last minute, get a good bid on it, and then snatch it up. So glad to get a 9.8 in this one. I thought it was the one, then realized Batman Adventures 12. That's the real one that everyone wants. So got that, but not a 9.8. So this was a 9.8. So glad with that one. This all new Wolverine number 1. Found this in the raw. This is the first Laura Kinney as the new Wolverine. I found 2 of these in the raw at Big Planet Comics in College Park. And again, one came 9.8, the other one I think is a 9.6. We'll see it eventually. But really good grade, really good copy. I'm really particular about carrying up my books. So I'd pick them up immediately, keep them nice and dry and, all that great stuff. So got this 9.8, so glad with that. Now this Amazing X-Men number 1, one of my very first kind of sketch cover things. Jason Aaron story, Ed McGuinness cover. Also came in 9.8. Got this off mycomicshop.com, and with Nightcrawler on the cover. Very decent book. So this is my stab at trying to get as many 9.8s as I could because that's considered really, really good investment grade comic, really sharp, and can't complain. Whenever comes the time to trade it off or sell it or whatever, do whatever I want to do with it. But it's a very good book, so glad to have it. Now we have the Avengers and the X-Men Axis. Um, Again, found this at Big Planet Comics. It's a nice cover. Deadpool's on this cover. Another variant. The I didn't read the story, but it was another. I see when I was variant diving at Big Planet. Saw it, looked good. Checked the specs on it and said, okay, not that bad. So sent it off, and this one came back. So 9.6, good book. Now another Avengers and X-Men Axis #1, another variant, the Del Auto variant cover. Again, I like the colors, like the vibrancy, 9.6, and so good key. The difference between 9.6 and 9.8, you can't really tell much, but value is value. So, but still 9.6 is a good cover. Now comes my run of Star Wars. All of these I found in the Raw at Big Planet and Laurel as it came out. This was interesting because I knew Star Wars was coming out, and they printed a million plus issues of this thing. And variants were the only way I thought possible to have any value. And I'm a Star Wars guy. I really am. Loved it since the very first one came out, which is as you call it, the New Hope for you young people. But for me, it was just Star Wars, and so I've been a Star Wars fan since '76. And so this came out, and Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, is my favorite character. Period. And so found these in the Raw and was able to get them and send them off. So I felt pretty good with my eye, be able to see something really sharp, really neat, and send it off. And then it comes back in 9.6, so not complaining. Another Star Wars #1, another variant, came at 9.6. It wasn't a 1 in 500 variant, but still a good variant, so glad to get it. Third Star Wars #1, another variant, 9.6. This is a Cassidy variant cover. Again, found it in the Raw at Big Planet in Laurel, and was able to send it off and get a decent grade coming back. You can't really be disappointed with a 9.6. You really can't. This is the Avengers and X-Men Axis #1. Again, I mean, just that's one thing with variants. I mean, they made so many variants at the time, and you just sat there and go, okay, this variant is the 7th variant, or the 8th variant, or the 6th variant. So for me, the higher the variant number was what I was interested in. So the higher the variant number, that's the one I really went after. Kind of chasing it at the time. Don't do that anymore. But liked the cover and came back 9.6, so glad for that. Now here's a Wolverine #1 that I got, and this is the 7th variant. This is the Howard variant cover. Just another variant cover that I found, Big Planet. Shipped it off, got a 9.6. Recognize Wolverine as being such an iconic character now in the comic universe. So was able to get that. So we'll talk about all the many different magazines that come out that Marvel's been doing on later video, but got this one. Now this is one of Deadpool's issue number one from '97 that I had bought, let's say a few years ago in the Raw, and decided to send that out because it was Deadpool. Deadpool number one. I have this one. I have his miniseries number one, and then of course New Mutants '98 I've got as well. But here you've got Deadpool number one. Came back 8.5. Not happy with the grade, but at the time, pressing and cleaning wasn't really an issue, so I wasn't trying to do that. Um, didn't see the flaws that much, but I live with it because I'm not, I don't chase grades, and we'll talk about that later. But I'm not a grade chase. I just, enjoy the book. Comes back when it comes back, you know, but it's protected, and I'm good with it. And last in this part is this Uncanny Avengers number one from March 2015. This is the drone variant cover, 9.6. I love this because it has the Inhumans. Um, One of those groups that I've liked from, the mid 70s on. Love Black Bolt. That was my guy. I love Black Bolt. Didn't care about the dog or anybody else. Black Bolt was the guy. And got a chance to get this cover. This was before the Inhumans miniseries, which didn't do well at all. But I was a big Inhumans fan, and I was glad to get this back. It's 9.6. Okay, that's it for volume two of my books. I'll come back with volume three in a bit. So if you like it, please hit the like button. If you're new, subscribe. Um, you know, Thanks for coming out. Thanks for listening, and hope you enjoy the books. And we'll go through a lot of more stuff next time as well. Okay, take care.